we're recording. Recording.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Chuckle-Bits Radio.
I'm Michael.
I'm Stevie.
Hope you're all having a nice day today.
And this is the Sim. We've got to say that at the same time, Michael. The stream ended.
Oh no! Hold on. It's fine. It wouldn't be a Chuckle-Bit stream if it didn't mess up right there.
Let's start from the beginning, and we'll do that beginning. But I think you should go. I'm Michael. I'm Stevie, and we'll go. And this is the Simpsons, like that. Don't you think that would be fun?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. How do I just want to get rid of this. Here we go. So hello everyone. I'm not going to do what Stevie just said and start all over again. This is the Simpsons arcade game, starring everyone's favourite yellow characters, the Simpsons.
I love Lisa. Lisa's my favourite one.
Is she? She's my least favourite one.
Why is she your least favourite? Who's your favourite one? Bart, I reckon.
I don't know. No, I guess. I mean,
Marjorie.
I've grown to like Marge. So this particular game is it seems to be a bit of a holy grail in the arcade gaming community, and for Simpsons video games fans as well, because for the longest time there was no home port of this game at all. It was arcade exclusive, so a lot of people wanted to play it, kind of like the Capcom Alien vs Predator game. So I'd heard about this game many times, and last time we were streaming, Stevie was talking about it, so I thought I'd check it out. I played it with my soulmate, my life partner, Emma.
Your Marge, as it were.
My Marge, the Marge to my Homer, and it's all right.
It's all right. I really like this game.
It's all right. It is a very stereotypical, run-of-the-mill Konami beat-em-up. It's essentially the same as their Ninja Turtles games. It's a two-button brawler.
It's got some nice systems in it. I like the partner system that it's got going on.
It's okay, but
I like the mini games. I like the animation. I think it's fun.
But the thing is, considering this game's been hyped up to me for years and years and years, when I actually played it, I realised, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. It's the Ninja Turtles Konami game with Simpsons on it. That's really what it is. I don't know which. Do you not
like how kind of weird it is, because it was made when it was only like the first series of The Simpsons, so all the references are very, very specific and old.
It is slightly bizarre. I can't remember when this game came out. I think it was the 90s, maybe 92, 93, something like that. It is strange.
Only been one series.
It is strange when you play it, when you think about all of the wealth of characters and locations in The Simpsons. It doesn't really use any. It has peculiar depictions of certain characters, and obviously the Marge Simpson sprites in particular are quite notable. So I'm going to start playing now. I'm going to put some coins in.
Well, we'll talk about Marge
I'm going to be
specifically.
I'll be Marge because
she's the best character.
Well, she's most notable in this, I think. Straight away, this is weird because we've got Evil Smithers.
Yeah, I think that's really that's one of the really fun things. I think it kind of shows that Konami didn't really know, or they had a very loose idea of what the Simpsons world is, because you wouldn't see Evil Smithers unless it was in a Halloween episode. You wouldn't see Evil Smithers or at least not with like a cape like that, stealing a diamond. The Simpsons can be cartoony, but not like this, where they're like fighting. It's mostly like a sitcom type vibe. And the stream just ended.
The stream hasn't ended. It's just ended for you. Hold on. I just want to change a bit of settings because it's lagging a little bit. So I'm just gonna There we go. Let's try that. That might be better.
Oh, it was actually going all right.
Let's try this again. So yeah, the Evil Smithers straight away. I mean, I think maybe in the first season he was a bit more.
I don't think he was evil. I think he just said Mr. Burns.
If there was a villain in The Simpsons, it was Mr. Burns, and by extension,
Smithers. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get to Mr. Burns later, and he comes out in a mech suit.
Yeah. So we'll
for
get
a
to
really
that.
frustrating boss fight as well.
For as many credits as it takes, I will get to the end of this. And to start with, this game is not difficult at all. And the other thing you notice straight away is you're just fighting. I mean, who are you fighting in this game? Who is this guy?
I think they're supposed to be Mr. Burns' henchmen.
Yeah, henchmen, goons. You fight an awful lot of generic guys that look like this.
Well,
Why?
they didn't. They look like Simpsons characters, at least. I mean, that is a very specific reference. That's the bus sign, I think, from the original intro.
Oh, is it? See,
where Bart steals in the very original intro, like that's in one episode of it, or maybe two.
Oh, the extra long one.
Yeah, it's like instead of like Bart going across the bar and look with the different characters, it's Bart stealing a bus sign and then people like running after the bus. I think that's literally the same bus sign in it.
Ah, I see. So yeah, enemies die in just 1 or 2 hits. For a Japanese arcade game as well, I find it particularly garish in terms of its colours.
I quite like that about it, to be honest.
Sure. I think it is trying to go for that Western animation look of really bold colours, as opposed to more nuanced pixel art.
But keep in mind, this is also trying to look like the first season of The Simpsons, and I think it does a really good job of that. I think it actually looks quite close to the first season of The Simpsons.
Yeah, it does. But what I'm saying is, compared to other Konami games of the time, the style visually is quite different. So who's this guy? Who's this guy?
I think he might be like, there's like an episode very early on where Bart is playing a video game and there's a wrestler boss in it. And it's like Bart is supposed to be playing Punch Out, and like Homer joins in.
Right.
And do you know what I'm talking about? No, I think that might be one of the characters.
I only have really vague recollections.
I do as well.
Aside from a handful of season 1 episodes that I taped off television, most of them I just don't remember. I know I have been meaning to go back and watch the old ones again, because I do quite like
I watched a couple of really first series ones recently, and again, like this, it's bizarre watching them for what the show became.
Sure. There is one entire level that is based off one of my more favourite episodes, which is the one where they get the RV and go camping, and Homer's mistaken for Bigfoot, for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So I remember that episode fondly. I was quite happy to see that in here. But yeah, the pool of, I mean, especially the first season in particular, very grounded stuff. There's no going to different towns or different countries or different anything. So there's not a big pool of stuff for Konami to have gone off if they were just sticking to the first season.
I mean, you got. I don't think there is like a crust. I mean, there is an Itchy and Scratchy Land episode later in the series, but there's not a Krusty Land.
Right, got rid of it.
But I guess this has some references.
So I don't actually know how to get the. I know there's the electrocution sprite where you can see Marge Simpson's rabbit ears.
Which for people who don't know, Marge Simpson was supposed to be a rabbit. They ended up changing that, of course, because it's quite stupid. In the original, like, envisioning of The Simpsons, like, it was supposed to be in the finale of the series. It would be revealed that under Marge's hair were a big pair of rabbit ears, and apparently that's one of the things that got in Konami's brief, so they put it in here as like a little reference to it.
Yeah, there is another sprite where you can see for one frame.
Yeah,
there is.
she pulls it off with the Hoover, doesn't she?
But I don't actually know how to do that.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm aware, this is the only actual depiction of Marge Simpson with rabbit ears. There's no concept art that's available or anything like that.
No, I don't think so. I literally think it's just this, which maybe means that they even dropped it before it went to series, and they just kind of it just kind of stuck as a fact with Konami. Again, this is like a weird Japanese version of a Western property as well. So it's kind of the first series of The Simpsons viewed through Japanese eyes.
Again, we're just beating up loads and loads of goons. I forgot about that.
I think it's fun. It's fun with a friend, I think.
Oh yeah, it's fun enough. It's fun enough. It is because there's not much in the way of strategy. Because as I was saying, it's quite simple control-wise. I don't know how you could actually get good at this game. I don't know how you would 1cc it. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm sure someone's done it.
I don't know either. You can't really do any combos or anything.
No, it's just one button for attack, one button for jump. If you press them both at the same time, you do a different attack. But this ain't like Streets of Rage or anything. It's very fast as well, as you can see. You can move around really fast, which I quite like, and you can jump really high. If you ever wanted to see Homer Simpson or Marge Simpson jumping really, really high, you can do that in this game. What else do you want to say about The Simpsons?
This game. Oh, there's Binky.
Yeah.
That's a reference to Life in Hell, which is Matt Groening's newspaper comic that went on for a while. It only recently ended, I think.
So that also ended up in here, and I wonder if that was why would have
there are loads of references to it actually in here.
Yeah, sure, every level starts with it, but I'm just wondering who gave Konami the okay to do that.
Is it just a fun reference, or is it because they felt they needed something more because there wasn't that much material to work
but
with?
I also ask you this question: who at Konami was really into The Simpsons?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, The Simpsons, it was a bit of a phenomenon, remember, in the early 90s as well.
I suppose
which
so.
This game was a part of.
Oh, I don't like this boss. I don't really like the bosses.
The Krusty Balloon. I think they're not really like, especially the final boss, which is, I think, really bad.
They're not very technical. Again, I don't know how you would be good at any of this. How you could get good at this, or why anyone would want to get good at this. It's just a big. The problem is with this, it's a sphere, but it's also a 2D sphere, so it's kind of hard to judge where you need to stand to hit it without getting hit yourself.
Well, that gets even harder later on with the bowling ball boss.
Oh yeah, that.
Which is the weird, like, faux 3D effect, which is, I guess, kind of interesting for the time, but really dated.
It seems dated. I don't know. A lot about this game does seem quite dated. I wonder when did this come out? When did this come out?
I'll look it up. You do that, and I'll look it up.
Stupid boss while I get
Krusty Balloon. It is really weird, this boss, the Krusty Balloon. It does feel like, what do we do?
Does Krusty the Clown actually appear in this game as himself?
No, I think Sideshow Bob does, but that's the thing, is he appears in his original, like, before he becomes evil Sideshow Bob. Which is a weird thing, because the first episode where Sideshow Bob's introduced, he's evil at the end of it, so it's very weird. Simpsons.
I wonder how much information exists about the development of this game, because of course there was loads of Simpsons games.
It came out in North America in 1991.
Okay.
Let me find out when The Simpsons started airing as well.
I'm guessing the 87 or 88 or something, if I had to guess.
The Simpsons.
So I have played a bunch of Simpsons games in my life, and they're all bad. This stands out as being the best one I've probably ever played. Although there was
Okay, 9. Sorry, you keep going.
No, well, I was going to mention that I had a friend who had, I think, Bart's Nightmare on the Super Nintendo, which I really liked because it didn't make any sense. It really did feel like it was a weird dreamscape. Have you ever played that one?
I know of it. I've seen the Nostalgia Critic play it in a really bad video. A really terrible video.
Did he remember it so you don't have to?
Unfortunately, I remember his video.
Ironically, you remember his video very well.
Yeah, which is really bad. Anyway, The Simpsons started in December 1989.
89? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not too much between this and the first season.
Yeah, so they definitely wouldn't have had any material from the second series. Yeah, so this is probably just stuff from the first, or maybe not even all of the first series.
So is this one of the first Simpsons games made?
I think this is the first Simpsons game
really?
made.
And
it might be. I can't think of any other Simpsons game before this.
And I don't think many of the Simpsons games were developed by Japanese developers either, were they? They were all kind of American.
No, it stayed with Konami for a bit.
Did it?
Well, I think because the Simpsons arcade game. The next one, Acclaim is America, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it does go immediately to America.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because none of the Simpsons games that I remember playing growing up were anything like this. This is a game. This is a playable game. But
yeah, a lot of the Simpsons games are dog shit.
Like I borrowed off a friend. Is it Bart versus the Aliens?
Yeah, Bart versus the Space Mutants is the next Simpsons game for the NES, and it's terrible.
It was ported to loads of things. I played it on the Mega Drive, but it still looked like a NES game, an NES game.
Yeah. Oh God, there's weird generic ghosts that you don't even fight. This makes no sense.
Turn up and then that's it.
That's a weird detail. Maybe they were like cut content or something. This could have been, because this is weird. You go straight to Moe's Tavern now.
I quite like the Moe's Tavern in this.
I do as well.
It reminds me of a weird Streets of Rage kind of level.
Yeah, but it's way bigger than it's ever been in the series.
Yeah. And then the boss is like a giant drunk guy. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did.
Oh, you did the bunny ears, yeah.
Just for a fraction of a second.
Which makes it weird. What did people think when they saw that, when they played this?
Well, I was playing it with Emma, and I didn't mention that fact. And Emma, there's one part of this game, we'll get to it in a bit, where one of the enemies electrocutes you, and you see the cartoon inside skeleton of the character that you're playing. And with Marge Simpson, you clearly see these rabbit ears. And Emma asked me if it meant, was this game suggesting maybe that Marge was a rabbit, and it was a bit confusing. So it just doesn't really make sense. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
And I only know about the whole rabbit ears thing because you told me about it a week ago. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
Now, Stevie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who the hell are these guys?
I got no idea. They're just made for this game.
Really?
They needed
they
something.
Have a lot more sort of design about them.
I know they seem like they should be, but I can't remember any episode that would have someone like them.
Because with no context, it doesn't make any sense. Why am I fighting a short guy? As well, it's not like every single boss is some sort of specific reference. None of the bosses are really that related. As the Krusty the Clown Balloon is kind of what's the wrestler? Not really. Kind of maybe, but I don't think so. These guys, a bear, which I guess is also like a generic animal as well. The bear is from that episode where Homer's mistaken for Sasquatch.
I guess.
It is the same bear. It looks exactly like it, but I wouldn't have chosen the bear from that episode to be a boss. It's not particularly memorable.
Yeah.
I always forget. There's a part where Maggie, crawls away and she gets adopted by a family of bears, and it's probably the least memorable part of the whole episode. And here we are in Moe's Tavern.
Yeah. There's a poster of Princess Kashmir from that one episode, and she's not really appeared in...
I vaguely remember. Is it an episode where Marge thinks that Homer's cheating on her or something? Is it something like that? What happens in the episode? It's been such a long time. I recognise the character. Stevie. Oh my god. Stevie, where have you gone? Oh, okay, it's just me now. I vaguely remember an episode a long time ago where Homer Simpson's in some sort of... He goes to some work do and this lady's dancing there, and a photo's taken of him, a Polaroid. And Marge finds it and she gets really upset about it, but I really can't remember the ins and outs of the episode. Oh god, what am I going to do without Stevie to talk shit? Maybe I should pause this and find out. There's Mo. Right, let's pause this game. Pause. How do I pause the game? And you could just look at this screen of Marge, just staring into the middle distance. Mo's on the phone. Stevie says, your voice is coming out all fuzzy and I can't understand you. Well, maybe I should stop this on Stevie's screen. Let's stop streaming. See if Stevie can hear me now. I can't hear Stevie at all. Let's come out of this. Come out of this. We don't want this. Let's get rid of this. And when I say this, I mean my phone call with Stevie. And I want to go back on again.
Oh, I can hear you again.
Ah, you can hear me.
Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Fortunately, when the Discord stream is interrupted, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the recording I'm doing at all. So that's good. I'm going to share my screen again. I was just talking about the episode that I vaguely remember with the dancing lady. A Polaroid's taken.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. Yeah, that it's kind of dated because all he does is dance with her. It's not that provocative, but I guess that's what they could get away with doing. But yeah, she gets upset, she kicks him out of the house and goes to teach Bart a lesson about respecting women. Like they go talk to her. So she's important in that episode, but I don't think she shows up outside of that one series 1 episode.
So we're in Moe's Tavern. Here's a poster of the mutant space alien, which I guess was used in Marge really wants us to know about. Look, I like this feature. If you don't move, this have you seen this before? If you don't actually,
can you share your screen, Michael?
Oh, am I not sharing?
No,
I am.
Oh wait, yeah, okay, I've got it. I can see it.
You bum. Right.
Space mutants.
Yeah. So this predates the aliens that would be a staple in the Simpsons. Marge says, "How's my hair?" a lot if you stand still. She says it a lot. And if you don't move, something humorous happened that I found out earlier today, which I thought was pretty cool. It comes and hits you.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that. That's quite fun.
So these aliens, what are these aliens from? Are they from a specific episode?
They're like background characters, something that was like a poster in the background when they walk past, something it'd say Revenge of the Space Mutants. So it is a part of the Simpsons world.
Yeah.
Also, there's Barney with blonde hair, which I think is from one episode and is actually an animation error that they might have just recreated.
Yeah. So we're in Moe's Tavern now. Here's the bar. It's a really long bar, which is kind of cool.
It's a fun level.
It looks a lot cooler and neater and tidier and swanky than Moe's Tavern is ever depicted. It has a red carpet.
Yeah. Moe's Tavern is, in the series, usually like a little tiny thing.
Yeah, you only usually see one corner of it, one angle.
Also, one weird thing at the beginning is the Simpsons game apparently exists in this game.
Oh yeah,
But,
there is an arcade machine. There we go. There's our dancing lady. There's what's that guy called? Bleeding Gums Murphy. There's the
Bleeding
baby.
Gums Murphy, and he's alive, which is weird because I think for most of the series he's dead.
Yeah, there's a Lisa-centric episode, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean all of his episodes were Lisa-centric. I can't believe she's your least favourite character.
Yeah, well, I think because she becomes annoying later on.
Yeah, but that's later on. The best episodes, I think she's really funny and well written.
Probably. It's been such a long time. I remember one episode I used to really like with the supply teacher.
Yeah, that one's really
Which
good.
Which season is that from?
That's like series 2 or 3.
Maybe I should go back. I've kind of written off. Here's a reference to Konami's Aliens game.
I don't get that joke though. What, that the alien turns out to be Marge?
No, but Konami did develop an Aliens arcade game, not the Alien vs Predator one, but the Aliens one. I thought.
Yeah.
And there's the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. There's multiple games where Bart dresses up as Bartman, right?
Yeah.
I used to see Bartman a lot in things, but not in the actual episodes of The Simpsons. What's Bartman all about?
Bartman is like a 1-second gag in a series 2 episode of The Simpsons. Like, he comes in as Bartman and then, like, it goes out again, and that's it.
And then someone in marketing thought, hey, we can make toys of that.
Exactly. But is Bartman in this?
I don't think Bartman's in this.
Exactly.
It popped into my head as another little
That's
thing.
the funny thing, is this is a boss that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, fire.
And he brings fire. But yeah, Bartman, if this could come like a little bit later, Bart superhero like identity, that would have been Bartman for sure. I think there was also an iPhone port of this game that was completely redone with new graphics and was a bit bad. Yeah, it was a bit bad though.
Of course. Yeah, so I played this the other day. I played the PS3 version.
I don't think you can get any more because of rights issues. So make sure you keep it downloaded.
Well, I can just emulate it whenever I want.
You're not supposed to say that.
What do you think I'm playing this on right now?
People are going to get annoyed that you're making money off the Simpsons arcade game.
I ain't making no money.
Supporting your wife and kids off of it.
As a professional streamer. There we go, I beat up the drunk guy. In
Markiplier.
This other bar, this secondary bar, Mr. Beast. I don't know who Mr. Beast is, but I know his face very well because his face is the same face of every YouTube thumbnail. Oh
yeah, this is the episode based after the... Yeah. I do, even though it's not faithful to the source material, I do like Smithers' design in this of him wearing a cape and he throws bombs apparently.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bombs later. He's a bit of a bomb man. Is my voice coming through? One thing I noticed in last week's stream was that once I actually started playing, I think I ended up leaning back in my chair.
Your voice is coming through fine.
And my voice ended up being a lot quieter than yours. It was, you could hear me, but in comparison, and I think I've made the window for the game a lot smaller because what happened was it was full screen, so I needed to move backwards, if that makes sense. So here's an actual Sasquatch. You kill a whole bunch of these.
Yeah, and they look like Homer as well, which I was like, I think a reference to the episode.
I think so. And there's the bees from the episode. So I wonder if I go back and I watch season 1 of The Simpsons, will I see a lot of things that I recognise from this game now? Because the reason Homer's mistaken for Sasquatch is that he gets attacked by bees, he jumps into a river to put mud on himself, and he looks a bit like Sasquatch, and someone takes a photo. So that beehive right there, the hornet's nest, is a reference to that one episode of The Simpsons. But there's other characters that I would expect to turn up that don't. I don't think Flanders is in this anywhere.
Is he really in the first series of The Simpsons?
Yeah, because he is, but he's an arsehole. his characterization is very, very different to what he would become.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's like a super nice. He's like obnoxiously Christian and wholesome.
Well, I know his Christianity is not like immediate. Like that's kind of something they put in like series 2, I think.
He's very self-righteous.
Yeah, I think he's more just kind of self-righteous in like the first episode.
You know, he seems to have a perfect family. This episode, the reason Homer gets an RV on Winnebago is because Ned Flanders has one, and Homer thinks, you know, he looks at his perfect family and thinks, well, if we had this opportunity to go on a family holiday, we would have a good family too, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, Flanders is definitely in the first season for sure.
Hey, that's a weird thing. There's the three-eyed fish, but that I think's a series 2 thing.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe that wasn't the first series. It's like a background thing, and they put that in. Because there is the episode where they serve a three-eyed fish to Mr. Burns.
I don't remember. I really.
Well, let's talk about. I know we haven't got to it yet, but it'll be a while before we do. Still, but what do you think of the final boss of the game, Mr. Burns?
Not as bad as you made it out to be.
Really?
Because, well, you said it goes on forever, and it does.
I do. It does go forever.
But he does have different forms as you go along.
Oh,
so it's not
but the forms are like, it's not barely like.
I know
he just gets a little bit faster. And like loses a bit of armor. It's not like he gets radically different.
I got the impression from what you said that I was just fighting Mr. Burns for like a solid 15 minutes of him just doing the same thing. So it does change.
That's what he does, though. He doesn't really change up.
So here's Bear, everyone's favourite. Bear.
From the one episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, there's no, is a Pooh? Is the Quickie Mart in season 1?
Yeah, it is, because the Krusty, the first Sideshow Bob episode is. So
there's no Quickie Mart in this. There's no.
No, so there could be a Quickie Mart.
Yeah, there's no Pooh, although he doesn't exist anymore. And either he's been cancelled, which is fine. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I haven't really got a problem with that. It's probably for the best, really. That shit could fly in 1988, but we've moved on a bit since then. There's no comic book guy. Was he in there?
I think he was in it earlier, but he might have just been a background character.
Yeah, but a lot of look, I'm fighting the bear from that one episode.
Yeah, so, but there are some characters that become more characters later on, because they gave them a one line or something, and then later on they became popular, so then they became like a character.
Yeah, but you know,
so there are some like background characters in this that become like Milhouse is in this. I don't think Milhouse becomes a character. I don't think Milhouse is Bart's friend until season 2.
Right, but do you know how many lines Milhouse has over the bear? Infinitely more.
Probably like 1 though.
That's more than the bear. There's certainly more they.
I think Martin has more lines than Milhouse.
Yeah, there's certainly more they could have done.
I watched an episode recently, and Martin was more like they were positioning him as Bart's rival in a way. He wasn't really like he was kind of the class perfect student, but more so like in a way that he was kind of obnoxious and doing it just to like get one over on other people.
That's kind of how Flanders was as well.
Yeah.
This is where Konami ran out of ideas.
They just decided we'll reuse a bunch of sprites, do whatever the fuck we want. I actually kind of like this level.
I don't mind it. I think
it's obvious what they're doing.
It's the more interesting level of them all. I would have preferred.
It doesn't really make sense.
I don't mind it. I like the big Krusty the Clown moon. Now, I don't know what the relation was between Smithers and Mr. Burns and Krusty the Clown, because you might have noticed that he had a Krusty the Clown hot air balloon, he had a Krusty the Clown helicopter.
I think maybe it means that he just stole all of that stuff in Krusty Land Because you went to
What?
Krusty Land earlier, remember?
Sure. Why is there a big Krusty the Clown moon and not Mr. Burns?
I don't know. But they gave them an opportunity to reuse some sprites and stuff and put some Marge heads there.
Yeah, weird Marge heads.
I mean, there's the school, that's from the series.
Oh, really? I'm being a bit... Yeah, okay. I don't like these saxophones. They're hard to fight.
Yeah.
But
Why do they need to have hands on them? They could just be flying saxophones.
Lisa does have a saxophone.
That is the point. Like, whose dream are we in? Because it seems like it's a mixture of every... Are they having a shared dream?
This is your dream, Stevie.
No, then it would be the Munsters.
Oh, no!
Then it would be Herman Munster's face popping out of the ground there.
Have you watched it again?
No, I haven't. I want to, though.
Maggie! And then we've got...
I love the Munsters. I'm going to watch it on Christmas, and I'm going to watch it on Halloween. I'm going to watch it twice on Halloween.
Yeah. It's not long till Halloween. Have any recommendations for me?
Have you watched Halloween?
I haven't watched any of them. And
Well,
I'm
watch-
not gonna because there's about 50 trillion of them. There's too many.
Just
I'm not
watch the
watching-
first one.
I'm not watching 20
Why?
Halloween films.
You don't need
Actually,
to watch 20.
I'm a liar. I've seen Halloween 3. With
You
you.
okay? Yeah, and Halloween 3 is good. You liked it, yeah?
I'm not sure if it's good. I liked it. I'm not sure if it's good. It's a bit dull in places, in quite a few places.
It is, but it is interesting. It has a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's one of those
Yeah.
films that you remember
Good-
being better than it is. It's
No, I think it's good. It has a good concept
it has
as
a great
well.
concept. I
I
love
think
it.
it's a really good satirical take on consumerism. I think.
Yeah, terrible ending, which really.
I think the
annoyed me.
ending's quite good. What, where he screams at the
Okay,
TV
no, sorry,
for them
not
to
that
stop?
part. When the love interest turns out to be a robot.
You
at
just
the
don't
end.
like that she turns out to be a
Yeah,
robot.
That's.
But I thought that was more that they replaced her, not that she was always a
Well,
robot,
then
though.
they should have made that a bit clearer. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this boss isn't particularly good. It has a couple of annoying forms, and you can't really judge where it is at certain points because of the 3D graphics.
I mean, it's not really 3D. It's barely.
It's not. It's pretending to be 3D when it grows arms. I think this is a reference to the one because like, they relied in the early stuff of The Simpsons. They rely more on bowling with Homer.
Yeah, he has a big. He's big on bowling, isn't he? That's his.
There are a couple bowling episodes later on, but in the first series, it's like a big part of his character that he likes bowling.
Is it season 1 with the streetcar named Desire?
No, that's like that's
Oh.
series 4 or something.
Oh God!
Yeah.
See, in my
I
head,
remember that because I had that one on DVD, and that was one of the
I used to
episodes
like
I
it.
watched a lot. That's a really good one, though. It's a really
so
good
when does The
episode.
Simpsons actually get bad? Because people argue about.
I
this
think
one.
it's around like I think it's around like series 9 or 10. It starts to
Really?
get pretty bad. Yeah.
See, I thought the streetcar named Desire episode was a really, really early one.
No. Well, it is kind of early.
Maybe I do need to watch them again. I've just written off The Simpsons completely in my head.
That's because you haven't watched the good ones in ages, and I've
No,
watched
but
the
they
good
don't
ones
show-
recently,
They
and
don't
they're
show
really
them on
good.
TV.
I know because they're TV's rubbish. So go and find the good ones and watch them because
Where's
they're
the-
good.
Where's the best place to find The Simpsons to watch these days?
123movies.com.
Not Disney Plus.
No, no, because someone stole my credit card info once, and they bought Disney Plus with it.
Motherfuckers. So
Did I
Disney owe you.
did I ever tell you? I got my money back from Disney, but did I ever tell you that when I called them up, I had to give them my name, and I thought that they might think it was a crank call because they had a new series, a Marvel series out called Moon Knight, and guess what the main character's name in Moon Knight is?
It was it Stevie Grant?
Yeah, Stephen Grant, and so I thought they might thought I was a crank call, but they didn't. They took it seriously.
Good. Did you
And
ask to speak to Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, I did, and I got him on the phone. He went, "Oh."
Did he tell you that Kingdom Hearts is light?
No, that's what Sora says.
Yeah, I know.
Are you looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 4?
No.
He's gonna go into the real world.
No.
But why don't you want to see Sora in the real world? Okay, slap Marge up. Slap her up.
Slap her up. Slap my Marge up.
Slap your Marge up. Yeah. You should rewatch The Simpsons. Watching it as an adult is different because you like Marge more. She has some of the funnier lines. Some of the more wittier lines.
Maybe I should.
Do you want me to give you a list of some episodes to watch?
No, I mean, I think I'd quite happily watch those early ones again. I don't think I would mind it too much. I just never got around to doing it. And there's just a part of me that feels that The Simpsons has been tainted.
But those are the bad episodes. Just ignore the bad episodes.
The thing about The Simpsons is long ago, it became the very thing that it existed to comment on in the first place.
But just watch the good ones then.
Yeah, alright, I will go to www.disneyplus. Today's sponsor, Disney.
It's Disney Plus.
Excuse me, Disney Plus. I couldn't say Disney Plus.
I wish we'd have some bloody money if we did.
Yeah, give us your money. Then if
Disney was sponsoring us,
I wouldn't have to emulate this game. I would actually buy the arcade cabinet and then I would show everyone. I'd do an unboxing video.
If Disney is sponsoring us, we'd live in the same house.
Don't you can't spoil the. Do you notice that guy froze his hat, but it's still on his head?
We'd live in a TikTok house. That's what we'd do. Do you know what a TikTok house is?
I've heard about it vaguely. It's where a bunch of TikTokers live together and they have use of the same equipment and stuff.
I'm surprised you even know what TikTok is.
Because I've actually heard of pro gamer houses where they train up pro gamers.
Well, that's what we'd do. Let's do one. Let's have a pro.
Let's have right now. I'm preparing for the big Simpsons tournament.
Let's do a pro gamer house. Me and you. Emma isn't a pro gamer, so she can't live with us.
Well, that's because she's just because she doesn't have balls.
Yeah, she's a girl.
Girls aren't allowed to be pro gamers.
Yeah, but what we'll do is we'll get a bed and we'll have a headstone, one with an M and one with an S.
A headstone? You mean a headboard?
A headboard, one with an M, one with an S, and we'll get
headstone's what you have at your grave.
And we'll get nightcaps as well, one with an M, one with an S.
Like the Chuckle Brothers.
Like the Chuckle Brothers, yeah.
Wait, I thought we were going to get bunk beds.
And we'll go to bed at the same time. And
good night, Stevie.
You'll say good night, Stevie. I'll say good night, Michael.
Who blows out the candle?
No, we both have a candle beside each of our beds, and then we both blow them out at the same time. And then we go night, and then we blow them out, and then we go to sleep.
And then the credits roll.
Yeah, and we go to sleep at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we wake up at 7 a.m.
Right. That is what I do anyway.
And our alarms go off, and it raises our beds out, and there's like a hole in the floor, and it like has clothes up.
Right.
And it like Wallace and Gromit, and we go through like a machine, and we go whoa, and it like there's like a hose that splashes water on your face, and like a toothbrush comes in front of your face, and you have to lean forward, and it like brushes your teeth, and then it like water comes down, and it like there are like hands that come out like in Dick and Dom, and like they shower you,
and then it goes go Dick and Dom in the bungalow.
Yeah, and then it like shoots us through some tubes, and then we end up in some like girly clothes or something, and we like go and then it like goes again, and then it ends up wearing the right clothes, and we go
it'll be like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where every intro you wear different clothes and you make some sort of comical comment on it.
Yeah.
Can I be the cat?
No, we're both Sabrina.
I thought you were going to say we're both the cat.
No, you can be Lizzie, the mean
Lizzie?
one.
Okay.
The mean bully one.
Oh, yeah.
Or Harvey.
Harvey.
You know Harvey. Yeah,
I
he
remember
was
Harvey. He's the love interest.
yeah, Harvey. We all loved Harvey.
Yeah. So I'm Harvey and you're Sabrina.
No, I'm Aunt Zelda.
Your Aunt Zelda specifically, right?
Yeah, I'm Aunt Zelda, yeah.
And I'm the
there
cat.
were two of them. Yeah, and you're the cat, yeah.
So
you
who's
can be
Sabrina?
Salem. Who's Emma?
Emma's. Well, I was going to say, get your mum involved on this. I'm sure she won't mind. She got nothing better to do.
She can be Aunt Hilda.
And she can cook all our meals in the gamer house.
Yeah!
Because we're pro gamers. We're pro gamers. And
It's
women
going to be
should
such
know
a
their
good
place.
Yeah, it's going to be such a good. We're going to drink G Fuel all day.
Is that Mountain Dew? Is that the same thing as Mountain Dew? What's G
No,
Fuel?
it's Gamer Fuel.
Right.
It's an energy drink for gamers.
Will your mum wash my clothes and make the bed for me, and give me?
But it'll all be done by that
give
breakfast
me a
machine
good night
that we
kiss.
wake up in. You know, you know the machine that we wake up in
Yeah.
every morning. It'll all be done in that.
But one day the machine breaks down.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it does. And because I like this. This bit's interesting. We haven't mentioned that Marge Simpson's
Oh, yeah, this is
fighting
a
a bunch of
boss.
ninjas.
Yeah, this level's completely just out of nowhere.
This is just Japan. This is just Japan stuff. This guy here, he's not from an episode of The Simpsons, is he?
No, he's just a guy.
Japan guy. Because Konami, if there's one thing they know is Japan.
They had the leftover guy from Ninja Turtles and they coloured him yellow.
Well, he's not even really yellow. He's more of a more natural skin tone, but with googly Simpsons eyes.
I don't know. The game starts to, even for it starts to feel quite long.
Yeah.
Even though it is very short.
Yeah, it's not that long at all, but and a bit tedious. These bosses are starting to get harder. Obviously, I'm not really paying much attention to how many times I've died, but I've probably spent about 10 quid by now in real terms. And if we factor in inflation, I could buy a small house with the amount of money I've spent on this arcade machine.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you're playing it for an arcade machine.
Yeah.
You
In
bought one.
real life, in the gamer house.
Yeah, because we were gamers.
Core gamers.
Yeah, girl gamers. No, just
No,
gamers.
not girl. There's no girl gamers.
No, we don't like girl
Well,
gamers.
they don't exist unless they're fake nerd
Yeah,
girls.
fake nerd girls.
They don't even
Yeah.
know. They haven't even watched all of the Batman films.
Yeah, they haven't even watched Doctor Who, and like you have, obviously, in the game house.
Right. Do gamers like Doctor Who?
Yeah, they don't like Star Trek though.
I thought they watched stoner comedies.
Oh, like
Road
Scary
Trip,
Movie 2, Scary Movie 2.
the Scooby-Doo movie. Oh, has there been any more
Scooby-Doo movie.
Scooby-Doos? Remember the Scooby-Doos? Hey, I beat Japan.
Velma was a lesbian.
She was, but she's not anymore.
What do you mean she's not anymore?
Probably not. In the new,
No, she is a
in
lesbian.
this week's straight to DVD Scooby-Doo movie.
No, she is. She's a total lesbo.
Total. Native American. High school. Crime.
Also, I'm going to say this. I think that this level in the Simpsons arcade game, the one we're coming to, the final one, I think it must have been like cut content because it's supposed to be the nuclear power plant, but you start off outside and you go straight into Mr. Burns' office.
Well, you go through the look. It's auto.
Yeah, you go.
I'm not controlling this.
This seems like it should have been like the end of a larger section before.
It would have made total sense. And in that dream level, we were fighting power plant workers.
Exactly.
So
So
I
they
think
might have shown up here.
This burns me up. She's going to say that every single time I get exploded by Bomberman. I mean, Evil Smithers.
You can throw his bomb back at him.
I'm not really paying attention at this point. I'm working on autopilot.
You're nearly at Mr. Burns. You
Right.
might as well finish it. This is how they relied on getting money out of people. We were at Mr. Burns. I might as well finish it.
Yeah, exactly. the story, yeah, he's got that weird.
Like, the story makes no sense as well. Why is Mr. Burns stealing a diamond?
Yeah,
when he could
first of all, he could
buy it. He's never stolen anything. I mean, he has kind of, but not just like out of a shop.
Well, if he steals something, it's something he couldn't otherwise obtain. Now, he could buy a diamond.
Yeah.
You know,
and why would he carry Maggie with the diamond and not just take the diamond out?
Of her mouth. I can kind of overlook that almost because it's it's so stupid. I don't mind that, but the fact that Smithers and his cronies robbed a jewelry shop in broad daylight.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city, which doesn't really like. In all of the episodes of The Simpsons I've ever seen, I don't think I've ever seen downtown Springfield. It doesn't really look like that, does it?
No.
It's
I think there is a downtown Springfield at some point in the later episodes, but it doesn't look like it does here, obviously.
So, this game's also 4-player, I didn't mention that. So you can play as the whole Simpsons family. I don't know how that plays out, really, with 4 people. I don't know if
it's really fun.
Is it?
I played it on holiday when it was 4 people, and it was really fun.
You found 4 people who want to play The Simpsons with you?
Yeah, the Simpsons arcade game, I think, is fun with a couple people.
So you found the machine?
Yeah, it was on holiday.
Oh.
Not recently, when I was a kid.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant in your recent adventures.
No.
So
we can play this when I come to Liverpool.
I don't live in Liverpool, but that's cool.
I know, that's why I said it.
Oh yeah, you want to keep the location of the gamer house.
Secret.
Here's Mr. Burns in his really uninspired mech suit. Although I do feel that actually, if he did have a mech suit in the Simpsons, it would look kind of like this.
Yeah, probably.
So Konami did manage to design elements of this game that don't appear in The Simpsons, that do look like they would appear in The Simpsons. So
he says also in a weird voice, "Welcome to your doom, suckers."
Yeah, you can't really hear it on this stream probably, but he has. It's not Mr. Burns' voice. It's nothing like his voice. I know his voice changed over the years. But it sounds nothing like him, so I don't know where that came from, because all the other sound bites are authentic, right? Apart from Smithers, who I don't know why he does.
And I did like Smithers' catchphrase, which was "Welcome to my world."
So
yeah, you're just going to be doing the same thing for a while, which is hitting him.
If you can think of something you want to talk about. You can do that.
Yeah, and it goes on, and he loses the legs, and then he loses the arms, and he loses this, and he loses that. You're just like, okay, let the game end. I bet they're all going to go out for frosty chocolate milkshakes after. That was a thing in the first series.
Right. You know what's interesting though? There's multiple generations. There's got to be a couple of generations of people now, not even children, that don't know of a world without The Simpsons. Like The Simpsons has always just been around, and they wouldn't have really. I mean, I was an actual literal baby when The Simpsons was first aired. I don't know when it was first aired in the UK, but I remember my dad being quite interested in it, and he borrowed a VHS tape off someone who had taped it off Sky or whatever, who had a satellite. Yeah. So this idea of a cartoon for adults, which wasn't new, but for most people it was, for most of the general public, a cartoon that dealt with regular old family issues and stuff was like completely revolutionary. What am I trying to say?
Well, I mean, there was the Flintstones.
Yeah, but the Simpsons was so grounded in reality, though.
Yeah, it didn't have cavemen in.
No, it was just American working class. So I wonder if that feeling of of it being new and interesting and representing the working class is probably just been completely lost on a lot of
doesn't anymore. The
No.
Simpsons house now is quite upper class, middle class even.
I don't know. I mean, what's the average episode of The Simpsons like these days? I have not watched a new episode of The Simpsons.
They're
for
quite
such a long
fantastical
time.
now.
Really? I couldn't even imagine what they're like.
It's not really that grounded in reality anymore.
Really? Have you watched an episode of The Simpsons?
A couple of them.
Yeah? And what kind of things... I mean, I'm guessing they're not funny anymore?
No, not really. Kind of cringy. The Lady Gaga one that happened years ago was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Lisa Goes Gaga, and Lisa went.
They started doing celebrity stuff.
There was one with Elon Musk recently.
Oh,
Where
God.
Elon Musk came down and Lisa said, "Oh, Elon Musk is the greatest scientist of our time, Homer."
Really?
And Elon Musk made everything better in the town.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not aged very well, has it?
No. Hey, you beat Mr. Burns.
I beat Mr. Burns. He's
You
dead.
killed
I
him.
killed
He's
Mr. Burns.
That is quite grim. And looking at it as well, he was also way bigger than he is in the series.
Yeah.
Now they just walk out after
Yeah.
killing Mr. Burns.
I
And
like
also
this.
has a blue t-shirt as well.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if that's because they didn't want him to look too much like Lisa. If that was like a video game.
No,
design
Bart
choice.
has a blue t-shirt in like really early Simpsons stuff
Ah.
sometimes.
But I like this. This seems like the kind of thing that would happen at the end of a normal episode of The Simpsons back then. You
Yeah.
just walk home. In fact, I'm sure there is the one where they get family therapy. Does at some
Yeah.
point this happen? But the fact
They-
that above them is completely Japanese names is kind of surreal.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Team GX69, blah blah blah.
So, this is a really average brawler. However, if this got a home console port, it would have sold so well. If this was ported to the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive,
Yeah.
it would have sold really well. It would have been very fondly remembered because it's not. I mean, it's not great, but it's good. It's good. It's fine. Oh, better put my name in.
Oh, there's Bartman.
There's Bartman. He is here. What name shall I put in? Chuckle-Bits Radio.
Yeah, Chuckle-Bits Radio or Pooh.
That's what I normally do.
Oh, you're a scamp. You know that.
There we go. Right, how long have we got? We got like. Oh, is it gonna
Oh, we
play
could
over
just leave
again?
it at that. We could just leave it at that and say goodbye because we talked about The Simpsons for a bit.
Talked
What's
about-
it? Well, let's leave it. Let's talk about this first. What's your favourite Simpsons episode?
Hold on, let me. Hold on. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'll just restart the game so we get the attract screen. And I'll. No, you don't need to, you personally don't need to see it again, do you, Stevie?
No.
So
So let's just talk about each
Record it.
other's favourite. What's your favourite Simpsons episode, Michael?
You know, I think that if I watched the first couple of seasons again, my answer would be very different. The one, I don't know. The thing is, I don't remember specific episodes. I just remember specific things in the episodes that have really stood the test of time in my mind. Like, you know, dental plan, Lisa needs braces. I couldn't tell you what episode that is, but that sticks out. Has always stuck out to me as something really, really funny. I think the episode I've watched more than any other episode is, in fact, the first one, the Christmas one, and it is
Really?
it's a tradition. I watch it every Christmas.
There are loads of Christmas
I know,
Simpsons
but
episodes
that
as
one in
well.
particular, because again, I taped it, or someone taped it. My parents taped it off television, and we would just watch it at Christmas. Me and my brothers. It's just one episode, but I just always watch it. I really like that episode. I think it has all the best bits, all the best things about The Simpsons all in one episode, and it's Christmassy. So I probably watched that one the most. I like the one I was talking about with the RV and the Sasquatch. I remember really liking the one where Homer eats that poison fish.
I think is that the one oh that's like that. That's a series 2 episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Streetcar Named Desire episode, which I didn't really get as a child, but I still kind of got it.
That it was about and had loads of references to a different play.
Yeah. Favorite episodes? I mean, there's so many. I always liked the Sideshow Bob episodes. They always stood out to me. It's all jumbled up in my head because different channels would just repeat The Simpsons over and over and over again. So I've probably seen them out of order and back to front and upside down and all mushed together. And I couldn't even begin to tell you where one season ends and another begins. I just know that I remember the 300th episode, the one with Tony Hawk in it.
That's your favourite one?
No, I just remembered that specifically being a really big thing. That it was the 300th episode, and me thinking that it would be something special, and it was just another kind of mediocre episode of The Simpsons. And I think that's when I kind of realised, actually, this is not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
Well, they did do a special episode a couple of years back that had a live-action Katy Perry with Muppet Simpsons.
Right. So, I mean, it got a lot worse. And there was things like, oh, the Simpsons are going to Africa, the Simpsons are going to Japan, and I was like, hold on a minute, this is...
Well, even they ended up making fun of themselves with that.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, anytime a celebrity turns up, there's some celebrities that kind of fit it a bit better, like Leonard Nimoy in the monorail episode. Just because Leonard Nimoy is the butt of the jokes, I think, and isn't like...
They used to make celebrities the butt of the jokes, and then they don't anymore.
I don't know how anyone involved in The Simpsons these days can sleep at night. I don't know how these voice actors keep coming in to do this job.
Oh, if you've heard Marge's voice recently, it's the voice actor can't do it anymore. She sounds like she's killing herself doing it.
I really don't understand how it's still going.
Because the Marge voice is very, very harsh.
Yeah, of course.
She's done it all her life all these years.
Yeah, it's like when you hear someone who's been in a metal band for years and their voice is just fucked. Fucked after years.
I will send you a clip of Marge's recent voice and you'll hear how terrible it sounds.
Alright, do that then, yeah. Right, so I need to go. I enjoy playing The Simpsons. I don't know what I'm going to play next week. I enjoy talking about The Simpsons. This will end up on YouTube at some point soon, and I hope you all enjoy it. Say bye, Stevie.
Bye-bye.
Have you got anything you want to say about the monsters?
I love the monsters!